All right, welcome once again to a new trimester, a new year, and a new aspect of the course physical and health education. Is your instructor, Mr. Collins, once again, and this trimester we're going to be enjoying ourselves. But first of all, we're going to be starting with the handball. A lot of persons do not know that the ball can be played with the hands, and we can go all to argue who plays the ball with their hands. Yes, there's a game called handball, and it is played with the hands. Now let's check it out. Just like football, handball is played with the hands. You use your two hands this time around, just like you use your two legs in football. The ball is thrown from one player to another, like just like football where you pass it with your legs. But this time around in handball, you use your hand and you pass it from one player to another. You continue with this process until there's an opportunity for you to shoot at the goal. And we're able to shoot across the line into the net. You scored a goal. That's basically handball. Now, another important point about handball is that it is a team sport. Handball is a team sport. It's not an individual sport. I know by now you should know when a sport is individual and when it's a team sport. And we talked about it being played with the hands already. It's not played on the pitch, but it's played on the court. Now you see the difference between it and football, right? Football you play that on the field, but handball you play this on the court. And it's a team sport, and each team has 7 players. Each team has 7 players that are on the court playing at a time. Yeah, handball became an international game in 1926 and was introduced to Nigeria in 1972 by the Nigeria Sports Commission. It was a team sport, played with 7 players, don't forget. All right, so we'll move over to the next slide. Here we're looking at the court where handball is played. So when you say the court, it's talking about the playing area of the game of handball. Now it's rectangular in shape, and of course there are so many features that you can see on the court. You have the goalpost, you have the goal line, and you can see the goalkeeper's restraining area over there. Now you can see the penalty mark, and of course a lot of dimensions, even the sideline or touch line, substitution line, which is 50 cm inside or beside. All right, so the court is 38 meters or 44 meters, and the breadth is 18 to 22 meters. So you can vary though. Now, if you look at the court properly, at each end of the court, there is a post, there's a goal post. And it is that goal post that the goalkeeper guides. He stands there to save shots. He stands there to save any ball that is about to go into the post across the line. Now, if the ball is allowed, if the goalkeeper allows the ball to roll past the goal line into the net, it becomes a goal to the opponent as the goalkeeper is there. So basically, we'll be looking at the game of handball being played later on, and how this goal is scored, and even how it can be defended as well. But for now, let's look at some of the skills of handball. Yeah, the first skill we're going to be looking at is the stance. The stance, this is the balance, the stable and steady position of a player on the court. Your stance is talking about your stability on the court. So we have the second one, which is throwing or passing. Of course, you throw the ball in handball. When it gets to another player, there's a pass. Then we have the catching. This is the skill of stopping and keeping a flying ball to oneself. When the ball is thrown to you, how you keep it to yourself. That's the catching. And of course, we have the dribbling. This is when a player keeps the ball to himself and progresses skillfully with it. Make moves. And remember, you have to make nothing more than 3 steps before you release the ball. Do not hold the ball in your hands while making more than 3 steps. You can make 1, 2, 3, but before you make the third one, ensure that you let the ball go, else it will be a foul. Then, of course, we have shooting. This is the fast and sharp throw towards the goalpost with the aim of scoring the goal. So when you send the ball to the goalpost with the aim of getting a goal, that's a shoot. That is shooting. Then we have total body displacement. That's talking about skillful movement to beat an opponent. When you dribble, you're talking about using your body to dribble an opponent. That's the body displacement. And of course, goalkeeping, the very interesting part of the game, is basically the goalkeeper's skill of saving the ball from crossing the goal line. You see, some goalkeepers can fly high and go down, all of that. It's actually a skill in handball. Quickly, before we go to the field of play, let's look at some rules and regulations of handball. There are lots of rules and regulations, but I just got 5 here for you to take a look at. We have the first one: a player must not fight another in the court. Those are rules. That's a rule and regulation. A goal is scored when the ball legally moves past the goal line. We know that and talked about that before. Now, let's say 7 players can play as a team at a time. You can't have more than 7 players on the pitch as a team. Well, you can have substitute, but nothing more than 7 players. Now, every deliberate dangerous act is a foul. When you attack somebody deliberately and get the person injured, is a foul. Then the referee has the final decision. You always know that as a major role in all the games. Now, the player is allowed 3 steps without passing the ball while dribbling. We talked about that before when we were analyzing the skills, that the player can make 3 steps. Then we have the other one: the ball must be played with hands. Yeah, that's why it's called handball. It shouldn't be played with the legs. Now, in a team, we have 12 players. Then 5 players will remain as substitute, while 7 players will be on the bench. Now, a game normally lasts for 60 minutes. I repeat, a game normally lasts for what? 60 minutes, with 30 minutes for each half. Now, the last rule is players are to use the proper kit while playing. Now, let's go to the field of play.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you kids, it's a fucking jungle out there. Keep your head on tight, unknown brain and mind me, baby, let's do it. Y'all see me flying, never drop down, smoking high, I am not round, I'm not round, no denying what I got now, keep an eye out, keep it locked down, see me flying, never drop down, smoking high, I am not round, I'm not round, no denying what I got now, keep an eye out, keep it locked down, get too strong when I battle with the beast, bring a few on, the commander and the chief for my crew on. Bullets rattling and whistle at your toque. Never sleep, eyes open, hands clutching on my loop. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. Yo, this a motherfucking war zone. Feel the impact, yeah, break it open, leaving nothing fucking intact. Hey yo, you been hacked, you're safe hiding, but I found it, homie, been cracked. Hey yo, we been back, your band stacking, see you flexing with the thin stack. Hey bitch, you been whacked, I kill them all, feel the motherfucking impact. Yo, this a war zone, homie, say you ready and prepared. Take a minute, make them aware. Well, I be sneaking in the back, but it's one to clap, homie, life ain't fair. Caught me crawling through the mud where the vision saw it clearly. Born a shepherd to these sheep, make them fear me. This a war zone, trashed out, trap house, nothing ever given. Yeah, every day's a blessing, thank the Lord, oh how I'm 11, see me riding with my top down. Oh, cops round, pedal pressing on the gas. I don't think I'll ever stop. Yo, it's a war zone, homies.
Bring it back now. I got the moves. Hey. Hold up. If you turn around, you gon' face the lead. Shooting from above, go to sleep, you dead, What? 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 Bring it back now. What? 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 Bring it back now. I got the moves.